Why are homes remaining unsold on the market here in Southwest Florida? This is a question that we get often, and there's actually a Newsweek article that came out very recently that talked about the entire real estate market in the country, but it highlighted some issues that they believe are going on in the state of Florida, and we are going to get to the bottom of it. So this Newsweek report comes out and it has the top 50 metro areas that have the most stale listings on the market. And a stale listing is what they deem some property that's on the market for at least 30 days, which is that stale? Historically speaking, they typically take a little bit longer than that, but we did get spoiled after COVID, where our average days on the market was around 7. So anything that's longer than 1 week certainly feels stale compared to what it did in 2021 or 2022. So out of the top 50 metro areas with stale listings, they highlight the fact that Florida has 6 metro areas that made the list. So Miami was number 1. This isn't the best. This isn't the best report. You don't want to be at the top of this list, but they also named Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, etc. And also Texas had a lot of honorable mentions as well. Austin came in at number 2 in stale inventory. And so what is going on with all of this? Well, here's the deal. It feels like there's a lot of inventory on the market because of what happened after COVID and the spike that happened in real estate transactions. So I'm going to show you this graph here. And you can see around 2021, we saw an excess amount of real estate transactions that took place that was way more than we would get in any standard year. And so now we don't have the same, the same height of real estate transactions, the quantity of real estate transactions that are happening. And so if that demand is lower, more inventory is coming on the market. Now all of a sudden the month's supply is going to be a lot higher. Now, as of today, the month's supply is right around 8 months of inventory here in Southwest Florida. What we typically say is anywhere between 4 and 5 months is equilibrium in the marketplace. If we have less than that, which again in 2021, 2022, we had about 2 weeks worth of inventory, which we were just selling them faster than they were coming on the market. And now we have 8 months worth of inventory. So in 2021, 2022, major sellers market. Now we are in buyer's market territory, and that has some significant impacts. But let's talk about why. Why is this happening? There was an extreme surge for demand during those times where people were moving to Florida in masses. The home builders started building. Florida and Texas are the 2 states that have the most new construction during those time frames. And then as things settled out and the demand started to come down a bit, then excess inventory tends to take place. Now, there are some underlying factors that are at play here as well. Housing affordability has gotten really tough for a lot of people because the prices have gone so high. We also have some issues with insurance that we've talked about many times on the channel. We've seen some of the condo market getting really hit hard with their assessments and some of the other issues that they have going on in the condo market. And so I see that and will continue to see that be the toughest segment of the market is condominiums, condo sales, because of all the issues going on with the new requirements that they have. So right now, starting in 2025 in Southwest Florida, which encompasses Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, etc., we have approximately 20,000 properties that are available on the market today. If we rewind 3 years to 2022, there were only 2,900 properties on the market when we started in January. Now, if you look at that, easy to say that today is the problem because we have almost 10 times, or it's really like 7 times more inventory, but it's not actually the case. The problem was what happened in 2021, where we only had 2,900 properties available. That was a big problem that made the market constrict around the inventory and then made prices do what they did. So if we look at our current inventory of around 20,000, that's exactly what it would have been prior to COVID starting a new year. every single year we'd be between 20 and 24,000 properties on the market until COVID came along, and then we got rid of all of that inventory very quickly, and that kind of changed the way things work. So today isn't so much the problem from an inventory perspective. Now, that being said, we are going to be monitoring the demand, because the demand is something that we follow very closely and want to understand how many people are purchasing homes in any given week to be able to advise you as well as we can on what that means for the future market. What I can tell you is that the demand was at its highest in 2021. 2022 was slightly lower than that. 2023 was lower than that. And 2024 was lower than that. And so we are monitoring this closely. It's too early in the year to understand exactly how our high season is going to play out, but the amount of inventory that was turning over in any given week in 2021 was between 1,700 and 1,800 properties in a given week. The high that we saw last year in our high season, which again is February, March, April, was really only around 1,000 properties, so significantly lower than what it was in 2021, which we've already agreed was the problem to begin with. So we're going to be monitoring the demand. We can tell based on the number of people who are here right now, people still love it in Florida. We have so many snowbirds that are in the area, and it's great to see. It's great to see that people are coming back to the area, given the fact that we had several hurricanes this past hurricane season. And now the question becomes, how many people buy? What's that going to look like for this coming season? We will be monitoring that. I will be doing more videos on that, but that is the statistic that I'm looking for here in 2025 to be able to help us predict what this is all going to shake out to be. But as of now, it continues to be a really great opportunity for buyers to get a much better deal than they would have in 2021 or 2022, because they are holding a lot more of the cards than they used to. So if you're a buyer, don't be afraid to put in an offer that's an aggressive number, meaning significantly less than asking price, and your ability to negotiate, because there's a lot of those opportunities that are out there. If you are a seller, we want to remind you that it's a great idea to be realistic from the get-go so that we don't have those stale listings like we were talking about earlier than in the report that came out from Newsweek. Well, let me hear your thoughts. Where do you think the market is going to go in 2025? Comment below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed day.